everyone, it's Laynie and welcome to my channel. How are you guys doing today? I hope your day is off to a great start. I don't know about you, but time change has kind of messed this household up. Little Miss woke up an hour earlier than usual, but I didn't realize it was an hour earlier. Maybe that was a blessing in disguise because I feel pretty energetic still. I'm really excited to share today's video with you guys because I love balling on a budget. If you're like me, hit the thumbs up button because I love to smell good, I love to have nice things, but I am on a strict budget, you know, mom life. And even before having a kid, student loan life, you know. Today's video is going to be a review on Julianna's Perfume, which is a dupe house, an inspiration house. Basically, they make perfume inspired by other well-known, expensive, oftentimes niche perfume. So if you want to hear my thoughts, then just hang tight. And before we jump in, I have to ask you to please click that subscribe button, join the fam. You will not regret it. We seriously have a great community here and I'm still growing, so your support really helps me out and means so much. So yes, if you want to hear my thoughts on Julianna's Perfume, I will be testing out their version of MFK's Gentle Fluidity Gold, which I have an actual sample of. So we're going to do a side-by-side comparison, you guys. Are you guys sipping on something per usual? I have my decaf cup of coffee. It's so yummy. It's really nice out today, actually. Like, we've had the best weather ever for November. I can't believe it. It's so nice, but a warm cup of coffee in the fall does the soul good. So anyways, yes, I do have an actual sample here of Maison Francis Kurk de Jean's Gentle Fluidity Gold, which is like beautiful. I have smelt it in store. It really is a beautiful fragrance. If you are a vanilla fan, then get your nose on this. I smelled it at Saks Fifth Avenue when I was on vacation in Florida. So yes, if you have anything like that near you, I think some Nordstroms also carry it. So if you want to smell it, go smell it, but it's real expensive, you guys. And then the comparison I have here is Julianna's Perfume. This is liquid gold. It is their inspiration of Gentle Fluidity Gold. This video is not sponsored, by the way. I do know Julianna's Perfume sponsors videos and sends out product to quite a few YouTubers because that's how I learned about them. I purchased this with my own hard-earned money because I was curious and I love balling on a budget. A little bit about Julianna's Perfume. They are a USA-based perfume house and they do inspiration or dupe fragrances. So they interpret a high-end expensive perfume and put their spin on it and try to get it usually as close as they can. One thing that really impressed me with Julianna's Perfume was the packaging. I thought the packaging was super duper pretty. That definitely caught my eye. I purchased Julianna's Perfume when they were actually out of their boxes that they send them in. I will put a picture up here so you guys can see it if you're not familiar of what their actual packaging looks like, because they really do a stellar job of packaging their affordable product to make it look really high-end and give you that same kind of experience you get with the more high-end perfumes. Something cool that they do is they do offer you 2 perfume samples when you purchase a fragrance. So you can pick from their other fragrances that they're currently featuring on their website to test out, which I think is really neat. And honestly, I feel like this tester is very generous. Like, you can get quite the use out of this. This is like the perfect throw in your bag size. Like, that is a very generous size. So the ones I picked up, Call Me By Your Name, which is inspired by Gourmand Coquin, which I believe is by Guerlain, but don't quote me on it. And then I also picked up Bad, B-I-T-C-H, which has been inspired by Rouge, I don't know how to say it, Malachite by Armani, I believe it is. And then something that I thought was really nice of them is they offered to throw in a 3rd sample since they were out of their packaging. That gave me really good vibes on their customer service, the fact that they wanted to throw in something a little extra special, a little extra sweet, since they didn't have the nice packaging available at the time. And this one is called Simply Gorgeous, which is based off of a fragrance called Beige that I'm not familiar with. The one thing I do want to say before I forget to mention it that seals the deal for me, that makes me know that they have great customer service at Julianna's Perfume. So, when I purchased, I wasn't in the patient mode, and they were out of the one fragrance I really wanted to try, which is Inner Beauty Exclusive, which is their interpretation on Delina Exclusive. And I really wanted to, but I was like, oh, it's out of stock. Oh, well, I'm gonna order. Well, then like 24 or 48 hours later, I was there thinking about my order. And I thought, dang it, that's the one fragrance I really wanted to try, because I've never been able to smell Delina Exclusive. I've smelled Delina, but never the exclusive version. So I sent them an email. I was just like, hey, is there any way that maybe I could change out one of my samples in my order? And they messaged back and saying, oh, I'm so sorry, your order is already in the process of being fulfilled, so we're not able to do that. But we appreciate you being a first-time customer, so we would like to send you one free of charge. Like, what? That's so incredibly nice. Honestly, I was blown away. That's stellar to me. That is like great customer service, and like that's something that's going to stick in my mind as a wonderful experience that I had to share with you guys, and that makes me want to try ordering from them again. So, yes. Okay, I think I've covered basically everything about Julianna's that I needed to, besides the price tag, because I know you guys are going to want to know that. So, liquid gold comes in at $59. $59. Not like cheap, but compared to the real, oh so cheap. You guys, seriously, the full-size bottle of the Mason Francis Courteous Gentle Fluidity at Nordstrom right now is $235. Like, there's no way I can justify spending that on one fragrance. Like, I just can't. I totally respect the man. Like, he is a master perfumer. Like, he has a great nose. Basically, every perfume he creates is like just amazing. Knocks it out of the ballpark. Like, so many staples. He created Baccarat Rouge, Burberry Her. He was a nose behind Lolita Land, which I love. Like, he has so many amazing perfumes, and I feel like just from the ones I've tried, he does sweets so good, and I love sweet perfume. So anyways, I respect the man so much and his works, but I can't. And I know there are others out there like me that respect the craft, but we cannot justify that. But anyways, I just wanted to throw that out there, that I have so much respect for him, because I do know there's some drama, or like in the perfume community, some people really hate the idea of dupe houses or inspiration houses. And I get it. It's like when, Makeup Revolution creates packaging and items that look so much like the real thing. But at the same time, I feel like there is a need for that. And I guess in the perfume world, it's a little bit nicer because they pay their respects to the real thing, because they label it as inspired by. So you go into it knowing it is inspired by the real deal, where in a lot of the in the makeup world, they just kind of take the packaging idea or the color scheme and go with it, and everyone knows what it's based around, but there's no like inspired by, Too Faced Peach Palette or whatever it is. So at least they do pay their respects to the real deal. But I feel like there is such a need for things like this, because there are so many of us on a budget that just can't justify spending the high-end price, whether it's makeup, hair tools, perfume, whatever it is. So anyways, yes, that was a whole ramble that I didn't even think I would get into. So let's get to sniffing. I knew I would forget something, you guys. This is a little tester that comes with your Julianna's perfume. That is something I wanted to mention because I also thought was really neat. To be less wasteful, they send you this little tester. You can wear this, spray this, rock it for a while, see if you like the fragrance before you open the actual bottle. If you don't like it, you can send this back and get your money back, which is wonderful. Now, let's talk about the notes and gentle fluidity. On Fragrantica, that's the website I always go to. I'll always have it linked down below for you guys. It's so helpful when it comes to fragrance. Out of 1,300 votes, it got a 4.15 out of 5, which is like really good. And the notes are vanilla, amber, musk, woody notes. Then you have juniper berries, nutmeg, coriander. When I read the notes, for some reason at first I thought it was going to be like very spicy. I don't know, something about juniper berries and the nutmeg, the coriander. I was thinking like spicy. But this is like a very softly elegant vanilla perfume to me. That's what I get. Now let's smell the real deal. And the funny thing is I have to smell the real deal first because I was playing around with these before I ever filmed. This was like a couple weeks ago to really get an idea of them. And I sprayed the MFKs and smelled it. It was lovely, beautiful, wonderful, right? Then I sprayed the Juliannas, also lovely, beautiful, right? And then I came back to the MFKs and I legit could not smell it. There is something about MFK fragrances that I go very nose blind to. So nose blind is where you just cannot pick it up. I'm the exact same way with Baccarat Rouge. His Baccarat Rouge, I sampled it at a store, again, Saks Fifth. Smelled it, literally could smell nothing on the paper. Smelled the extrait version, lovely. Could smell it so good, right? I had my husband smell both. He could smell the Baccarat stronger. And I'm like, what? I literally like, my nose doesn't work with it. So I have to smell MFK's Gentle Fluidity first because I'm scared if I smell Julianna's first, I won't even be able to smell it to talk to you guys about it. So anyways, that's a little tidbit about, and I've heard it's because his, a lot of his fragrances are a molecular fragrance or a molecule fragrance. It's the perfect season for something like this. There is a powderiness to it. Think a little bit baby powder. There is a soft sweetness to it. There's definitely vanilla in there. And there's just like a little bit of spice that tickles the inside of your nose. Like this is a great fall fragrance. Especially when it's still pretty warm like today. There's just enough spice that it, you know, kind of makes it interesting. But you could still wear this on a hot day and it's not going to be like, ugh, BO, too spicy. There's a little bit of a complexity to this. So there is a Gentle Fluidity Silver, which is, I've heard the exact same notes but put together differently, and a lot of people claim that is more masculine and that this one is more feminine. I believe all of MFK fragrances are listed as unisex. I do feel like this could be unisex. I don't think it is one that my husband or my dad would wear. They are definitely much more into the seriously like woodsy, seriously masculine leaning colognes. But I do see how this one could be unisex. Reading some of the comments on Fragrantica, if you have time, I really recommend. I feel like there's a lot of good ones on there that are very true. This is like an easy wear. This is one that if you're around people who don't love fragrance, I don't think this is going to bother them. It is elegant enough though that I feel like for a fall wedding, this could be really beautiful on the bride, but honestly, even on the groom. If your significant other is into a little bit more of a soft, slightly sweet fragrance. It's just beautiful. It's elegant. I love how this person on Fragrantica, Soft Peace Lily, described it. They said they're huggable and expensive at the same time when wearing this. And I so agree. Like this is one that you could easily wear to a special event and smell elegant and beautiful. But it's also one that's just modest enough that you could honestly just wear it for like a date night on the couch watching some Netflix. Really, really lovely. And it is interesting smelling it now that fall has really set in and I feel like the air is a bit different. The leaves are dropping. I'm picking up the spice more now than I did this summer when I smelt it in store and it was hot and humid down in Florida. It's interesting how weather and season can really change up a fragrance. The one thing I do want to say about Gentle Fluidity, I think it is a lovely fragrance. Again, MFK does a beautiful job. To me though, this is one I couldn't justify even if I had the money to spend so much on because it is beautiful, it's lovely, it's elegant, it's huggable like they said. But it's just not special enough for me to justify myself spending the money on it even if I had the money to do so. Anyways, that's just my thoughts on the fragrance. I think it's beautiful though, and it's kind of, it is such an easy wear that is why I picked it as my first Julianna's fragrance, because I wanted to go with something that I thought would be an easier pick versus some of the others listed on their website currently. Also, Julianna's Perfume is an extrait version of Perfume, so it is more potent, it's more concentrated, there's more fragrance oil in there, so you're also usually going to get a longer wear out of it. See, now that I've smelled this, I can hardly smell the original. I watched quite a few videos before I made my purchase, and for people who own Gentle Fluidity Gold and have really worn it, a lot of them claimed that this was extremely close. Now, at first sniff, I do not think at first sniff they are identical. I think Gentle Fluidity Gold has that bit more spice in there. I would say off the top smell, when you first smell it, honestly, I was like, not really similar. It's more, I feel like the Julianna smells like the dry down of Gentle Fluidity Gold versus the multi-layer effect that Gentle Fluidity Gold has, like the top of the fragrance, the heart of it, and then the dry down. Julianna's to me is a bit one-dimensional. There's a little bit of a difference when you first spray it. I think when you first spray Julianna's, it's a little bit powdery and musky, quite potently at first compared to Gentle Fluidity Gold. But then on the dry down is where I think they start to match up. On the dry down, I'm going to put them at like an 85 to 90% match. I don't think if you were walking by somebody who knew this fragrance and they picked up your scent trail, I don't think they would catch the difference. You really have to be studying the two. There are similarities there. You've got the powderiness, you've got the muskiness. On the dry down of Julianna's, I feel like the spice comes out a little bit. Still not quite as spicy, but it's there. It kind of tickles the nose like MFK's does. I feel like the Julianna's vanilla is better. It's sweeter to me, and I love sweet, so that's right up my alley. To me, Julianna's is far less unisex than MFK's version. I shouldn't say version of his, it's his creation. To me, Julianna's is like feminine, it's sweet, it's a beautiful vanilla. I must say, I really think Julianna's perfume knocked it out of the park with whatever vanilla they used in here. It kind of gives me that like bourbony vanilla vibe, like a really rich vanilla. It's so good. I do think Julianna's is just a bit denser than the MFK. Like there's a thickness in here where I feel like a lot of MFK's fragrances have a very airy kind of effect to them. Julianna's is a bit denser. When it comes to if I would have a preference to wear one of these, I would pick Julianna's. The sweetness gets me, that vanilla gets me. If you were a man and you were thinking of buying an inspiration, I don't think this is the one I would try out. I have worn the Julianna's and honestly it lasts really, really well. It's pretty potent, but the fragrance itself is so soft. It doesn't get overpowering. It's not cloying or headache inducing, but the extrait, you can tell it's an extrait fragrance. The one last thing I wanted to mention about Julianna's perfume. I played around with some of the other samples. I haven't smelled any of these, the actual version that they were inspired by, so I'm not familiar and I can't speak to it from that. But from a couple of the samples I tried, I did pick up just a slight soapiness smell in a couple of these, and I sort of pick it up a little bit in this. It's not super soapy, but just like a little bit, like think for this one almost like creamy body wash. Like there's just like a little tiny touch of soapiness in there. So I don't know if it's kind of something to do with the oils they're picking or what, or if it's just kind of their little staple smell, or maybe my nose was just going kooky. But I did pick up a slight soapiness, so I just wanted to make you guys aware of that. It's not going to stop me from wearing these because I think this is a beautiful fragrance. Out of all of the samples I got, I'm happy with this one. I am glad I purchased the full bottle of liquid gold. I think it's lovely. It's an easy wear, and I'm very excited to try more. I definitely am considering repurchasing in the future when Julianna's perfume comes out with another fragrance that I'm dying to try. So yes, let's put it on for my scent of the day. The atomizer on this is really nice too. It's not too harsh. Yes, that's a lot of perfume. That's how we roll in this house, okay? There is truly a richness in this fragrance. There is, like, even though this is an inspiration, like, Mama feels like she's got money when she wears this. That's definitely, I feel like the things I enjoy in perfume. I want to smell sweet, yummy, and or rich. So yes, you guys, that is my thoughts on Julianna's perfume. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, anything I didn't answer for you, please leave it down below. If you've ever tried anything from Julianna's perfume, let me know. I would seriously love to hear your thoughts. If you guys like dupe videos, inspiration videos, also let me know, because I do have quite a couple other dupes in there that I would love to share with you guys, because I love to find a good inspiration house. I hear the little girl starting to scream upstairs, so I think it's time for me to say goodbye. And as always, please try to stay positive, because at the end of the day, that is truly all we can try to do. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day.